All right, guys. Sorry, not here today. Daughter is sick, and you're trying to get your video done. It's been quite the struggle getting everything working right. So we're on the backboard going old school. So you're gonna need a calculator and a piece of paper out. Make sure you have those two things. You're gonna need the calculator for the test anyways. Remember, no cell phones for calculators. And we're gonna go through a quick quiz review. So we're gonna do some review problems. Remember, these are the things that could show up on the quiz. Okay, so let's start off. Need you guys to do these two problems. And number 2 here, 5 minus x over 2 is less than or equal to 1. Okay, I want you to both solve and graph these two problems. Solve and graph. So please pause the video and give the students 3 minutes to complete these two problems. All right, this first one. Okay, this is a one-step problem. To get rid of this fraction, remember, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 5 over 2. Okay, now, remember, these are going to cancel out, leaving me with r. And since I multiplied both sides by a negative value, I have to flip this inequality sign. And I need to multiply this out. 8 times negative 5 is negative 40, divided by 2 is negative 20. Now remember, on your quiz, we need to write it in set notation. So it's r such that r is greater than negative 20. Okay, and our graph, there's negative 20. Okay, way out here, 0. This is missing the or equal to, so this is an open dot, and we need the values greater than, so we're going to shade to the right. Okay, make sure it's in set notation before you go to graph. Number 2, there's our inequality sign. First, I need to move the 5, so I'm going to minus 5 on both sides. That's gone. And don't forget to bring this down. This is a negative fraction, so remember what we talked about yesterday? In this situation, I like to put the negative with that denominator, with the 2. Less than or equal to, and 1 plus negative 4, or sorry, excuse me, 1 plus negative 5 is negative 4. Now from here, we're going to multiply both sides by negative 2. Now since I'm multiplying by a negative value, I've got to flip my inequality sign again. So I'd have x is greater than or equal to positive 8. So my set notation, x such that x is greater than or equal to 8. In my graph, there's 0, there's 8. I would have a closed dot on 8, and once the value is greater than again, so we would be shading to the right. Okay? All right, our next set. Okay, here's the problem. We have negative 8, parentheses, a plus 5, close parentheses, minus 2 is greater than or equal to negative 2a plus 6. I want you to solve and graph this problem. So please pause the video and give the students 3 minutes to complete this problem. There's our inequality sign, okay? Now remember, when these get a little larger, first worry about your distributive property. So distribute. Negative 8 times a is negative 8a. Negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. Remember, this negative 2 is not a part of it. Drop it like it's hot. I have these numbers I can add together. Those like terms, negative 4 plus negative 2 is negative 42. And then there's nothing to do on this right side. So drop it like it's hot. And now it's time to start organizing things around. I need my A's on one side, okay, non-A's on the other. So I'm going to move this to the left. This will be plus 2A on both sides. And that's going to be 0. I'm going to move the negative 42 because those need to be on the right. So I need to positive 42 on both sides. That's 0. And I'm going to add my A's up. Now that they're on the same side, I got negative 6A greater than or equal to 48. Finish him. Divide both sides by negative 6. I'm dividing by a negative value. I have to flip my inequality sign. Okay? And set notation, A such that A is less than or equal to negative 8. And on my graph here, there's negative 8, there's 0. I would have a closed dot because it's in or equal to, and this is a less than, so I would be shading to the left. Okay? Now, the next two are going to be word problems. So it's going to take me a second here to write this up, but I want you to just write the inequality. Do not worry about solving, just write the inequality. So for this first one, we have twice a number plus 7 is less than 3 times the number. So please pause the video and give the students 1 minute to write this inequality. All right, for this one, twice a number. It's 2 times n. Remember, the variable you choose is irrelevant. I'm using n. Plus 7. And this is our inequality sign. The is less than, so I have the less than symbol. 3 times the number, so 3n. And that would be my inequality, okay, for this first one. Okay, your next inequality. Right? An inequality for this statement says the vacation rental requires a deposit of at least $200 to book a room. So please pause the video and give the students 1 minute to complete this inequality. All right, for this one, remember we've been writing these in our set notation. So the variable you choose is kind of irrelevant. You got to decide what you're going to choose on your own. I'm just going to go ahead and use x. So x such that x, and I know my border value is 200. So I know I have that. Now it's just a matter of figuring out my inequality symbol. So it's at least, okay, at least $200. So 200 would work. That means I do need the or equal to sign. And then remember, we got to think about which values then go ahead and work, okay? And it would be the numbers like $250, $270. Those would work for deposits. So they are wanting the numbers that are greater than or equal to 200. Greater than or equal to 200. All right. Sorry, this is not as efficient as normal, guys. Okay. Last set of 2 here. I want you to do these last 2. So number 6 here, we have negative 9 plus r over 2 is greater than or equal to negative 7. And Number 7, 169 is less than 9 minus 10r. Now go ahead and just solve these. Do not worry about graphing them. Just solve these. Do not worry about graphing them, just to save yourself some time. So please pause the video and give students 3 minutes to complete these two inequalities. All right, number 6. Number 6 here. There's my inequality sign. Okay, I need to move the -9, so I got to go +9 on both sides. That's gone. That's going to leave me with r over 2 is greater than or equal to 2. And now I have to multiply both sides by 2. Remember, we have to put it in set notation. So r such that r is greater than or equal to 4. Okay. Last one here, number 7. Got to move the 9 first, so -9 on both sides. That's going to give me 160 is less than, and then don't forget that negative. It's -10r. That is not a very good looking r, I apologize. Now, finish him. Divide both sides by -10. I just divided by a negative, so remember I have to flip the inequality sign. And I'm going to get -16 is greater than r. Now, remember when you go ahead and put this into set notation, we have to write this with the variable first. Okay, so I've got to adjust this inequality sign because I'm going to flip this around. Okay, it's eating the -16. So I got to make sure that it's still eating the -16 when I put it in set notation. So it should be r such that r is less than -16. Okay, I need you guys to go ahead and clear your desks with the exception of a writing utensil and a calculator. Okay, we are going to be taking the quiz. Okay, remember, you guys know the rules. Okay, the only thing on your desk is a writing utensil and a calculator, and you are not allowed to use your phone as a calculator. Okay, that is not allowed. Phones need to be put away. Okay, you should not have them out. Okay, now, when you are finished with the quiz, you guys are going to be working on ALEKS for the remainder of the period. Okay, so make sure you get it done correctly. Again, don't forget to do your set notation on your problems. Okay, again, once you turn in your quiz, you're going to be working on ALEKS. Okay, we will see you guys hopefully on Friday. Hopefully my daughter starts feeling better quickly. We'll see you guys. Bye.